Finance ministers and central bankers from around the globe are in Washington this week for meetings of the International Monetary Fund and World Bank. The G20 meeting will also take place on the sidelines. The spring meeting kicked off with a press briefing on world economic outlook.
The meetings, which began today, April 18th, will last another 5 days in Washington, D.C. It's essentially 6 days of consultative meetings, brainstorming and networking on issues around the global economy, international developments and the world financial markets. Ghana's own delegation to the meetings is led by the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. While there, the delegation is tipped to participate in the African Consultative Group meetings with Christine Lagarde and President Jim Yong Kim. More significant for Ghana during this period is the event to examine Ghana's political and economic trends, dubbed Spotlight on Ghana at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. The meeting will end on April 23rd with an IMF forum on digitalization of fiscal policies, but not before a series of G20 meetings on April 21.
And we were at that meeting in Washington. EIB correspondent Famous Atitsogbe joins us via Skype with details of the opening day of this meeting. Famous, you sat through this meeting. What can you tell us?
Well, hi. The meeting actually took place at 9 p.m. It was a press briefing, which was held by Maurice Osfield, who was from the economic department. He's actually the economic counselor and director of research of the IMF, and he tends to give an overview of the global economic outlook. And he did mention that this year there's going to be an acceleration of 3.5%, which is up from 3.1 from last year. And also he mentioned that this will be cut across from advanced countries, emerging as well as low economies. So, and these projections will be hinged on both manufacturing and trade. He also did mention countries in Sub-Saharan Africa, Latin America, as well as the Middle East are also likely to face challenges because of myriad of factors. He talked about adverse weather conditions, civil unrest, as well as starvation as factors that could drastically affect such developing countries.
And looking at the calendar of events, where does Ghana sit with a few days left?
In the coming days, the Ghanaian delegation, as you mentioned earlier, led by Dr. Bawumia, as well as the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, and the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, would have bilateral meetings with investors. They would also have some meetings with Christine, the World Bank president. These are meetings that we're looking forward to in the next few days as the Ghanaian delegation touch down.
We'll leave our conversation here. Thank you very much. That's EIB's correspondent in Washington, D.C., where the spring meeting is ongoing. Let's move on and do some other stories here on Business Brief.